And we are back on the Rodriguez Show, and we have our first guest for this episode. Tomorrow, you're going to see both these guys at Mad Flavor Fest. This is Mad Boy and Charlie B. What's up, guys?
What's the deal? What's the deal?
Hey, and Mad Boy, thank you for being here for the first time.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, this is your festival, man, at Mad Flavor Fest. That's happening tomorrow, Saturday, April 27th. 1714 Wall Street, LA, and tickets are $20 with fees, 3 to 10 p.m. Food, music, vendors, comedy, everything at this festival. It's really fun.
All the flavors, man.
Yeah.
All of it rolled into one, baby. That's it.
Charlie B, how you been, man?
Man, I've been living, bro.
Yeah,
been living. Just came back from a tour from with the NWA.
Oh, nice.
DJ Yella and Lil Easy. So it's been good.
Nice.
Life's been good.
Living a good life, man. So this is going to be happening tomorrow, like I said, Mad Flavor Fest. Before we get to all that, Mad Boy, it's your first time here, man. Let's talk about your story, man. How did you get started making music?
Honestly, I've always been a creative. First we'll start like this. Nobody in my family does music. I don't come from a musical family, not instruments, not singing, not rapping, not nothing.
Yeah.
But my dad is an artist. His dad was an artist. His dad was more like architectural, like more like straight lines and stuff. But long story short, like my whole life, I like to draw. You know, drawing turned into movies. I loved movies as a kid. In high school, I was all about movies, and I ended up getting a scholarship to film school based on a movie that I did, a little 5-minute video.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was like my two cousins at the time. They were like 5 and 7. Grand Theft Auto was super popular at the time. I made a short film about how like Grand Theft Auto can like influence kids, and like my older cousin shoots my younger cousin. His mom comes home. It's like a whole thing. My mom was in it. It was it was cool. So anyways, I submitted that and then like the script for that, and ended up winning and got like a scholarship.
Wow.
So went to film school in LA. That's Art Institute of Los Angeles in Santa Monica. I went there, and my passion was always like creating, and like I did little movies and film. I hadn't even like during the time in high school, it was music there. I used to be in a group like around people who freestyled a lot and rapped at school and had like the ciphers, and like I would hop in here and there, but it was never really like I'm gonna do that. But then I would say more towards right when Eminem blew up, you know, like right when M came out and like really started popping, it kind of was like
early 2000s-ish?
It was like probably 97, 98, you know, like somewhere in there where I was like, hey man, this music's kind of cool, you know, but I wasn't really taking it serious. So then I went to film school. I started shooting videos and stuff for like rappers and stuff. And then I'm like, I want to be the rapper. Like, I don't think like these guys are doing it as cool. Like, I don't know. I just want to do it. So I was actually challenged by some kid there. Let's see what you got, whatever. So I remember I went home. I got an Ice Cube beat. To be honest with you, it was I can't really put the name to the song. I just remember it was an Ice Cube beat. I had this little shitty microphone I got from Best Buy, wrapped with cotton and some Scotch tape. I thought it was cool. I thought I knew what I was doing. I rapped the song, took it to school, and like got like a decent review. Like people were like, "Hey, that's pretty decent," you know, for not fucking with music. So somehow, some way, I don't know. I really don't know what shifted it now that I'm older. But somewhere in the film school, I bumped into kids that were like really into music. We started doing the music after school every day instead of like doing the movies every day. And then in that combo, I was really into DMX. I don't know if you're a DMX fan or not, but like Rough Riders and like riding dirt bikes and doing quads and wheelies and shit and just like acting ass on that shit, you know? And like anyways, we'd go camping and we would do that. And long story, I fell off and I hit my tailbone. I chipped my tailbone.
Oh, fuck.
So I was like, couldn't go to school. I couldn't sit down. I couldn't do whatever. So it kind of shifted my attention from school straight to music. Since I was at home all the time, I had my computer. I would just sit there and rap and get beats. And this is like, I'm talking like, like 2005, 2007, you know, like somewhere in there.
A little John era.
Yeah.
You know,
and it wasn't that easy to get the beats and everything.
Yeah, like you're getting
the internet
them,
wasn't that fast.
Yeah, you're getting them off of like, what was that one? LimeWire.
Yeah.
You know, you're ripping them off, or you're like just getting instrumentals to songs that you already know. And like, that's kind of really how it started. And then it just kind of went, you know. I think the passion just grew, and I really like the little bit of competitive edge and stuff you kind of try to have when you rap. Like you want your song to be dope, you want your beat choice to be like the right combo, and you just want to like everybody to be like, damn, that shit's hard. Like the thing that I always get is like if I drop a song and then a bunch of dudes want to get on it, I'm always like, oh, that's what's up, you know? Because like everybody's feeling it enough to be like, I want to be a part of that. Like I want to get on some of that, you know? So like that's cool. And like music is just dope, you know? I like to create it. I like that it's different every time. I like that it's small. It's like smaller content.
Yeah, that's dope,
So
man.
you know, so
And I've seen it. I mean, it's the evolution of, even like you're saying, like when you started, there was like one way to do it, but now as you see technology progress, it's so much easier. You
Yeah.
can think of a song in the morning and have it out by the nighttime. It's just
yeah, true that. You can't. Honestly, you could make a whole album in a couple of days and have it up and have people listening to your music like rather quickly.
Yeah.
I just think the only thing that's hard now is that maybe it becomes down to like you really got to know how to use social media to your favor. And I think that kids that grew up with phones and social media, they have an edge on you already, you know, because they grew up in it. So
That's huge.
I'm playing a little bit of catch up just because like I grew up with, you know, computers and internet, but then like the social media wave hit after I was already like, you know, had a kid already and was already doing whatever, you know. So it's like I'm still trying to make that work the best for me, which so far so good, you know. But like
I can see it, but I've seen the work you're doing, and you got to that point where
and
you know.
and I don't have like a ton of followers on either one of my my event or my personal, but I feel like a lot of them are more authentic.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
they're
what it is.
authentic followers. They're not like just randos like most of them, you know. So
That's major. That's
Yeah.
major because you know, so somebody said that to me at an event a couple of weeks ago, and it was like they were giving constructive criticism to a couple artists that were up, and one of the things that I heard was that you can tell everybody, hey, follow me, you know, but connecting with somebody and actually taking the time to show them your stuff and get that genuine view and that genuine follow
yeah.
is more than telling everybody,
Plus, people
hey, follow
people
me. you know?
gotta
True.
they gotta fuck with you first. Like if people fuck with you first, then they'll fuck with whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if they fuck with me being like a dad and showing my kid and like having dad moments on my social media, then they like me for that. Or like me cooking or me doing whatever. And then I'm like, oh, I got the music. They know I do the music, or I got the festival. It's like
Yeah.
they gotta fuck with you first. And that's just what I've come to find out is like as much as you could just, you know, be as authentic as you could be you. Don't trip on if you're not being what's current or what's cool. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, it's like I call it. It might be something that exists, but it's like the thousand fan theory. You know, like if you have 1,000 diehard fans, you can make a living off your music.
True.
And that's it.
That's true.
You know, because then you're selling merch, you're selling packages to like stuff you're doing, you're selling exclusive content. It's like you just need 1,000 people who really vibe with like whatever you're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
And
believe
so,
that.
you know, that's what I'm working towards. I'm working towards that solid 1,000 people that fuck with me, you know? So
And you're well
That's
on your way.
love.
I mean,
That's
and just like
love.
you, Charlie, man, you're putting in the work. How did you come across this festival? How did you get on this lineup?
It was my manager. Yeah, shout out to Army Chick. You know, she's the one that's been putting a lot of work with a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. She's the one that connected us with Little Easy. Got a lot of the tour dates going with DJ Yella from NWA.
Yeah.
Opening up for Mims. Honestly, I can say that my manager does put in the work for a lot of the stuff that we've been doing. So, you know, thanks to her, we were able to connect with them, and we just seen like the videos from the past experiences past shows that they put together. I think this is like the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah, I've seen the past ones, and man, a lot of the people that I know through social media and through like hip hop out here, they've been to their events and they've told me, man, it's gonna be lit as fuck. So I'm
Yeah,
fucking
man.
excited, bro. I'm excited to go there. Fucking 2 stages, comedy, live music, hip hop, vendors, fucking food court. Like, bro, what more can you ask for? I'm
Exactly.
fucking stoked, bro. I'm stoked.
yeah, man, it's tight. It's honestly, it's one of those things like it really just evolved from really like a album release party. I threw an album release party. I had a couple vendors. I had some homies that did, you know, whatever, and they came and, you know, did a small show, and then I performed, and then we had a bar, and then I was like, this is cool, but I could see this work. I know enough people, you know. And then just fast forward, like you said, you know, it's 2 stages. You know, I wanted to give the experience to the person. So it's like if you maybe find the lineup of comedy dope, you're like, I'm gonna go fuck with that. You can do that and shop around, hang out with us, and leave. If you want to go and watch the whole show, do that. If you want to come just watch your homies perform, kick it and leave. You know what I mean? It's like it leaves it open for everybody to just come and have, you know.
Did it get to this point? Like, was there a lot of work to get to this formula of like, this is how I'm gonna mix it up, or was it always like a mixture of?
No,
all of them?
yeah. I mean, it just was like me kind of having the thought, like, okay, I know I want food. Because I like going to places where it's like a lot of different little food carts and stuff to like try stuff, you know, like that. That's cool. And then I'm a rapper at heart, or like I make music. So it's like all my homies rap. So at first it was like put the homies and me on and make a show. And then after that, I'm like, well, I don't want to get stuck just putting me and the homies on. So I need to start making it more of a broader thing. So I started pulling people from like the IE and LA and wherever, I wasn't like, oh, you don't have 10,000 followers. Oh, you don't have blank. You know what I mean? I just asked for like 1, 2, 3. Like, I need you to promote. I need you to be a part of the event. I need you to pay attention, like when I'm putting stuff in the chat, and like be a part of it. And I want it to like be successful. So we all got to be like on the same page, Yeah. And so if everybody can get on that page, then I could do the rest, Like I could bring all the vendors and I can make it look cool and I could get people to, you know what I mean, come out. But I got to have the artists be like kind of pushing it too. Like it can't have like a stuck up like, oh, I'm performing, but don't ever mention that you're performing until maybe you just show up. You know what I mean? Like you gotta kind of.
Do you think that's the key to growing it? Is like if you're like this, you're super LA based or super OC based, you reach out to the other one, to either one or even a different place, and you're like, hey, come down here, we'll give you a spot, and then you're like reaching more people that way.
I mean, I think that my thought process was at the end of the day, Mad Boy is a brand. Like I'm a brand, and I'm trying to build my brand, and my brand is Mad Boy. My brand is Mad Flavor Fest, and so I'm just trying to reach as far as I could get. And it would be stupid of me to just try to be. I'm gonna put these same people on over and over. You know what I mean? Like I'll put a few here and there, and then the next year put another few, and then switch it up, and then I always have 1 or 2 of my homies on the show for sure. There's like people that I'm cool with, obviously, but then again, I try to pick people that I think are either like really talented, doing something cool, actually, you know what I mean? Like putting the effort, because that makes more sense, know? So.
Damn. That's exciting, man. And you're right. Yeah, I'm just learning. That's what I was asking. I was like, I'm learning from you as a person that's had a successful event.
And I mean, and the formula really that I'm using is kind of like King Envy is my headliner for music, shout out King Envy. He's actually about to go on tour with Joyner Lucas, which is kind of tight. He's got a dope ass song with Millie's. I think his album dropped yesterday.
Nice.
So King Envy, go grab his album. He's cool, man. He's really putting in the work. Like he's very consistent, and he's very like his videos are dope, and everything about him is cool. He's got like really good bars. Like his bars are serious. It's not just about fuckery. It's like he's got some substance in there. And then on my comedy side, I don't know if you're familiar with like Jay Valentino.
Yeah, he's here all the time.
Yeah,
too.
so Jay Valentino is going to be my headliner. Come out and do his comedy thing. We have Stevona Delgado. We have this girl named Taco, Brett As Is, Juan Cias, Travis Tapleshay, and who else? I'm missing somebody. Oh, Stephanie Mateo. So that's like a really dope lineup of comics that are out here in LA, like really working. Like I see them like almost every day. They're like posting another comedy show. So it's like, and I think it's cool.
That's the thing, bro, that also like that they have something genuine. Like I go to fucking so many hip hop shows, bro. I go to at least like 3 a month, and I go and it's the same shit, like just hip hop, and then they have like 20 performers up, and it's like hip hop after hip hop after hip hop after hip hop, and it's like, damn, bro. Like the thing about them is like they get creative with the crowd. Like they bring comedy, they give you shit like now it's like 2 stages, so you got people like give a chance to walk around. Get a chance to get
and
the
vendors too. Like
and I'm kind of trying to do it. Like, I mean, I'm going to do my best to keep it tight to where from a certain time, the stage won't have music to where you can go check out the comedy, and it's not like you're going to be stuck like
conflicted.
Picking whatever. Yeah. So hopefully that works out, just with like lineup staying on time and all that kind of good stuff.
It always gets a little unpredictable.
Yeah, so you got to kind of, shout out like Pookie F and Roots coming, show up. He's a special guest. And I know that he's big energy and he's going to come through and without even trying, he's going to take over the show. You know what I mean? And I already know that. And so I'm prepared to be like, okay, I got to make time for,
a lot of people to be over here.
Certain things are going to happen that I got to like maneuver and be like, I know that this time is probably going to get stretched. So why don't we just prepare for it now? You know what I mean? Type of thing.
Charlie, how do you prepare for something like that where there's people competing? There's not necessarily everything's competing for your attention, but you're like, okay, I have to put on a show where people have to pay attention, right?
For this one, I really had to get creative. For this one, I'm bringing out my producer, which Mayor Music. I'm bringing him out to be my DJ during my set. So I'm kind of working with them to get a good, solid vibe, good, solid performance. Something that's not just I'm gonna be up there just walking around rapping.
Yeah.
Also, I'm gonna release brand new music at the show.
Nice.
So I know. Last time I was here, I talked about that feature with Sage One the Wise.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, we're finally gonna drop it.
Nice.
Well, today. Yeah, today
Oh, okay,
on
nice.
all
Out on Friday,
platforms.
yeah.
Yeah, all platforms.
That's what's
It's gonna
up.
be out. So it's gonna be dope. You know, brand new music, brand new set, guest DJ. It's like, fuck, what
Yeah.
more? You know.
Yeah, you got to put it. Yeah, I mean,
I always say, you're talk to him, man. Don't just go out there and start, unless you're gonna come out and do something insane just to get their attention. But it's like, you got so much time, you need to make sure you say your name a few times.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Get that in their head, because you only got so much time to
Yeah.
get people to fuck with you,
And it's difficult these days being an artist because like now that the digital wave hit, like he was saying, like, man, I started back when MySpace was around.
Mm-hmm.
I was over here fucking MySpace marketing, doing all that shit. And now it just feels like the internet has created such a saturated genre that you have to do a lot more to stand out.
Mm-hmm.
And whether some people want to fucking eat cockroaches in front of a camera or whether people
Yeah.
want to incorporate.
But that's different. I tell my son that all the time too. I'm like, these people drive me nuts. They
Yeah.
just do dummy shit. I'm like, how long are you gonna do dummy shit until you look at yourself in the mirror? You're like, I'm done doing this dummy ass
true.
shit. It like, I don't care how much money you're making. At some point, you're gonna wake up and be like, God, I feel like such a bust. Like I just do this goofy shit all day. Like, you know what I mean?
And I think that's why people, things like platforms like your show, your event, and like even us, like people see it's authentic, and we're not
Yeah.
just chasing whatever like trend or like trying to get the views. It's like this is real that we're trying to build, and so
Yeah.
that's why it's grown organically for all of us, right?
For sure. Yeah. I think that, but it all comes down to like groups of years of I know there's a word for it, but I can't think of it right now. But just basically like, the kids that are like this age bracket and this age bracket.
Generations?
Like, yeah, like generations just something I couldn't think of that word, but it was like every generation, our generation doesn't want to hit like our generation is like, nah, I'm not liking that shit. You know what I mean? Like even if I like something, I'm not liking it.
Yeah.
Because we kind of have like this weird like vibe about it, like, and then you got the younger crowd, which they grew up on it. So they're just liking, it's just like part of their behavior. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? As to where people in your age bracket, normally you're fighting for them to like, so I've always said, like most people say the same thing. You find more love like outside of the main group of friends,
Yeah.
If you can get outside the main group of the bubble and just like keep working and get out, that's why I said like I try to stretch it out wherever, because those people are looking at it from a perspective that people over here, they're like always trying to look at you a certain way,
Yeah,
It's kind of cliche, but it's the truth,
It's the truth, and that's how I think too. It's like there's like a certain generation of people my age and a little bit older too, where it's like at one point it was like corny to try, and so people look at you like, oh, this motherfucker's trying. It's like, dude, I'm trying something out here. Like, why is it better for you to support it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I have that same, like, so my good homie, right? We just had like a actual conversation about this. Is like, I send him stuff all the time, but I direct message it to him or I tag him, and I like purposely try to get his attention so that he could, you know what I mean? And I'd say even my homie, me hitting him up 10 times, 8 times out of 10, he clicks it. 2 times he doesn't.
Yeah.
So the people who aren't my homies, let's say 2 times out of 10, they're gonna click it. So I try to explain to him, he's always like, man, you're always posting the same shit. Like, but to him, it's the same shit because he's around me so much.
Yeah.
But to everybody in the world, they might just see it once or twice if I post it 20 times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like that's really what it is. It's like it's marketing,
Yeah.
So I tell him, I was like, think about the burger that you see on TV, right? You have to see it or see that commercial on your phone about 13 times.
Like brand
and then,
familiarity.
And then all of a sudden you're driving down the street, you see the sign and you're like,
Yeah.
fuck it, I'm gonna get it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
Same thing with Mad Flavor Fest. I'm like, I have to get people familiar with the name, people saying it, a bunch of different people saying it. People look like you, people look like me, girls, different, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody saying Mad Flavor Fest. I need a, you know what I mean? And what it does is it creates like familiarity, but it also creates like comfortability. Like they like, oh, I've seen this. I know this. This feels familiar. Like my homie was talking about that. Like I've seen this logo a bunch of times. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's like that's what building the brand is just doing that. And sometimes I do it better for my event than I do for myself. You know?
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? And so like I gotta, do both. You gotta
Bro, I also feel like in this event is something that you allow people to step out of their comfort zone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you're bringing people from all walks of life, like let's say, for example, like somebody might come and see me and then all of a sudden they're watching Jay Valentino for the first time. You know what I mean? It's a networking experience between people. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro. I've been to a lot of hip hop shows. Like this is one of those shows that I've been to that I performed where multiple people come together. I've seen rocker fools like hella jamming out to one of my songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like I never thought that I'd have some dude like that plays the drums.
My
Yeah.
mom and my dad and a couple of their friends, they came because they were like, you know, they like stand up. So they're like, we're
Yeah.
gonna come out and support and like get some, you know, watch stand up.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad chilled for a bit, and then they were like, we're heading out, and you know, their friends and a couple of they stayed all night and they chilled. They like watched the show, they like ate, hung out, you know, got faded, like
Nice.
so.
People
It's-
like it.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah,
it's
for
more
sure.
of a vibe.
Yeah.
It's more of a it's cool, you know. Like I said, you could pick and choose. Come all day, come hang out all day, come later on in the evening.
And that's another key thing about it too. Like a lot of people, they don't want to stay out too late. Like in our generation, people don't want to stay out that late anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're giving people an opportunity to come out fucking 3 to 11 or 3 to 10.
3 to
Yeah,
10.
3 to 10. And then stay for half of the show, part of the show, fucking stay to dinner.
and
then
it's $20,
fucking leave.
so it's not like
Legit.
it's, you know.
$20.
And I was telling people, I'm like, come on, it's like it's a win. You either can go home at 10, have a good time, or you're in LA already. You can go out, go eat, you can go do something else, you can go whatever the fuck you want to do. You know what I mean?
So, Mad Flavor Fest Instagram,
Yes.
and I want to give you guys a chance to talk about, as artists, individual things you have coming up, just because we talk about that stuff on the show.
For sure.
Charlie, you mentioned you were on tour. How was that?
Stressful. Yeah, man. I feel like in my career at the point where I'm at right now, I'm like more on my way out than I'm back in. You know what I mean? So I feel like at this point, like it's something that I'm doing to release the content that I've still made, and I still feel like I'm doing it, but it's kind of a little overwhelming sometimes. You know, I can honestly say like I've gotten to the point that now that I'm seeing like bigger stages and like bigger audiences and like going from state to state and like opening up for bigger people, it's more of a thing that I'm like, fuck, dude. I'm like, fuck, now I gotta go back to sleepless nights. Now I gotta go back to all this constant upkeep. Because like he said, you know, in my days, bro, you used to put out a song and it was like, cool. Now we got to compete with trending things that are washing everything out every couple of seconds. Every couple of seconds, something else is trending, and every couple of seconds, something else is trending. You get lost in the sauce.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So it's like, at this point, I'm like, man, like, I'm trying to enjoy my life, and at the same time, I'm trying to keep up with like the demand of the music and the streams and like the likes and the followers and all that stuff. And it might get a little overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah,
you know,
I
it's
feel
a little stressful sometimes when you're trying to live and when you're trying to like parent and when you're trying to do all that stuff and still enjoy life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you got to think about like, am I a public figure or like, am I, you know what I mean? Because consistency is key in this industry.
Oh,
And
for
if
sure.
you don't keep up and all that stuff. So it's been all that. But other than that, it's been a fucking blast, bro. It was a fucking experience, you know?
Nice.
Besides having to put out content all the time and having to like really actually, you know, exhaust myself with what I'm doing, I'd say that it was really fun. I got a chance to work with a lot of people. I got a chance to take a lot of insight on what people that I looked up to when I was a kid are doing.
Nice.
You know, looking at DJ Yella on stage, looking at this motherfucker get the whole crowd lit, like raise the roof off of this motherfucker. I was like, yeah, I need to implement that into my set.
Nice.
You know, looking at Lil Easy, like the way that he had the whole crowd and like the way he interacted with his dad's songs into the crowd, like it was like
I've actually seen him perform. I was in what was that, Vegas, some like cannabis awards I think
Yeah.
last year, and he performed, and he's got a good energy. He like
Bro, it's literally like watching his dad on stage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Damn.
it's like now that I've been around them a lot more, like now that I've been like actually, you know, brought into the whole Rich and Ruthless fam, like it's dope, bro. Like it's a fucking blessing working with these people because it's like these people are OGs. Like I listen to these people growing up. Like I watched them. Like, damn, I idolize these people.
Yeah,
and now that I'm like in the mix with them, it's like, man, it's a wonderful experience.
Nice.
It really has it has its ups and downs, but I love it.
But I could relate to like one thing you were saying. You were saying that like what I took from it was that Like, I don't want to go on tour right now. Like, I have a 15-year-old son that I want to see all the time, that I want to raise, that I want to be around, you know, every day type of thing, you know, to where if I was on tour, I'd miss a lot of that, you know, and I want to be around. And maybe when I was, you know, younger, I was like, tour would sound dope, you know, but I think I've heard it and people been around people that have talked, you know, and I've never really, I mean, I've done a couple shows in a row, but I haven't went on to like a state to state tour and like toured anything, you know, to where I don't have the experience, but at the same time, maybe I kind of know what the experience is already. And I would rather choose being here and like having the, you know, like time with my son type of thing.
Yeah.
But
it's a balance. Like you were saying, like it's about the passion for the art.
Yeah.
Too.
But like in this day and age, like also, which is cool, like we talked about, is that I could sit at home and I could make 100 songs and I could pick 5 of those songs or 10 of those songs or all of those songs and I could put them out all the time and just put them out. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like somebody comes and finds me and they're like, yo, he has 1 song. Oh no, he has 100.
Yeah.
So now they go through my whole catalog. They find like 20 songs they like. And now those songs become part of their whole, you know what I mean? And then it spreads and it spreads. It's like, why not do it that way? Because you never know what song might just,
it's true.
out of the 100 that just takes off, you know? So like,
and it could be like even a year or two later.
yeah, so I guess like a few years ago, I just started doing that. Like, I don't really listen to shit. I don't care. My son thinks I'm weird. I drive around with no music on. He gets mad. He's like, can we put some music in the car? I'm like, nah, I'm talking to you, you know, or I'm thinking or whatever. It's like, I don't care about none of that shit. I don't listen to it. Like, don't get me wrong. Did I hear the Kendrick beef? Of course. Did I hear it? Of course. Like,
of
course. But like on a day-to-day normal basis, I kind of really don't. I kind of keep like music. I keep it for the gym. I keep it for like here and there. But you know, at my house, I'm on my computer. I'm like thinking. I don't have music blasting. You know, stuff like that. And so, like, music has became like I'm detached from what's cool. So I just kind of make what I want. You know, sometimes my shit's funky and like kind of upbeat type. You know, and sometimes it's dark and a little bit more villainous. And sometimes my shit's rock and rollish. It's like I'm all, you know, and what's cool is I have a 15-year-old now and he's kind of grew up with me like making music. He's my, you know what I mean? He's like my like
your protege.
Nah, like I just bounce everything off of him. I'm like, hey, listen to this, and then you know he likes the Ken Carsons and he likes the, you know, the what's in the
Nardo
stuff, you know, like he's hip to it. So when I play him certain things, he'll be like, that was cool, or like, you know, I'll know, I can kind of tell by his vibe that he's like, that one's all right.
And it's dope to have younger people listening to your shit, bro. It's dope because like, yo, I got a cousin, he's like 17. And he introduced me to fucking Nardo Wick. Yeah. And now I listen to Nardo Wick every day, bro. It's like fucking, you know, that motherfucker goes hard, bro. You know, I never would have listened.
That's the cool thing about hip hop is you never know. You just
I never would have thought.
Yeah.
Legit.
And then also hip hop's cool because how it blends a bunch of stuff. Have you heard of that song that goes on just new boot something?
No, I haven't heard.
New boots grooving. I don't know, but it's like the dumbest like hip hop kind of funny comedy rap shit. But it's so funny, you know what I mean? It's just like it makes you enjoy music. You're like laughing when you're listening to it, you know. And I think that
I like comedy rap too.
Yeah, and I think we're kind of missing that, you know. Like Little Dicky was kind of good at it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like there were certain people that like Eminem had his moment with it, you know what I mean? So there was like people that were good at it, which makes it funny.
I tried it. Like with my video with EA when we did the laundromat shoot, I was wearing a wig and everything with the whole making it rain quarters.
Damn, you were like, take me in. You were like, you threw up your sign already and you put your wig on. You're like, accept me.
Yeah,
take
bro.
me now.
Trust me, it's
damn.
But music is a beautiful thing though, because it allows you to express yourself in such a unique way, and I feel like it doesn't have a limit. Like it doesn't. Like I feel like music is universal, bro. Like it speaks to everybody. You know what I mean? So it's such a beautiful thing. That's why it's like, man, everybody's got to come out. You know, Saturday, April 27th. 3 to 10, City of LA. Check the fucking link in the bios, all that stuff. You know, we're going to have comedians, we're going to have hip hop artists.
There's like conscious rap, there's hip hop, there's like pop, there's mainstream, there's my homie does like fuck, why can't I think of it? Reggaeton. You know?
Oh, nice.
Like he's just a whole different vibe. I've got like the street rap, you know what I mean? There's a little bit of, you know, there's 2 females.
Women, men artists and female artists.
Shout out the Backwood Brat. She's kind of popping up here and there everywhere on like social media. I'm sure you'll like see her pretty soon now that I've said it.
$420.
Now, so before we do wrap up though, I did want to ask you because you mentioned it when we talked about it, was you have a movie, you're working on something like that?
Oh yeah, so like I told you, I went to film school, so
Yeah.
like that's always been a passion, deep down, like tying all this shit together, tying all the brands together and just making it one cohesive, like thing. Writing movies is definitely something that is like an offshoot of, writing raps, but it's just different. And so I've had these few ideas in my head, and this one particular idea that just seemed to stick around. It's never really seemed to disappear. It just gets a little bit more tightened. I shared it with a good friend of mine, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I'm on board. I think it's dope, and I think that it's like perfect for this moment if we can get it out relatively in the next like year or two, So like
Nice.
we're trying to be smart. We're not trying to, and for both of us, it's new, and we're approaching it new. So we're like, I think we're gonna try to do our due diligence of like getting writing help and getting this and getting doing the right thing
No,
with
it's a big endeavor.
yeah, so but he's definitely all on board and wants to do it, and I'm all on board and want to do it. So like whatever I got to do, or to like kind of make that my next focal point, like after the event, that's probably what I'm going to be working on until next year, because I really don't plan on doing the event more than once a year, unless something really changes. But so next year, so I'll have this time to like focus on that. I don't want to give too much of it away, or whatever. I'm sure I'll share some stuff soon. But yeah, it's just something in the
Coming
pipeline.
soon.
Yeah, you know.
We'll
what
come
I mean?
back
So,
when you're promoting that too. We'd love to
yeah,
talk to you
for
about
sure,
that.
for sure.
And then Charlie, I just want to give you a quick plug for your song that comes out today with Sage One the Wise. You want to talk about it a little bit?
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's called Nightfall. It's featuring Sage One the Wise. Brought to you by myself. But it's honestly, man, one of the hardest songs that I've ever made in my career. Like I'm not even gonna gas it up or nothing like that, because I know I got a lot of good bangers on my catalog. But I feel like this song, we really both went out. Like, man, I talked about it the last time I was here. I had sent him the song, and then I had a concept for it. And then he fucking sent me back his verse. And as soon as I heard his verse, I looked back at my shit and I was like, damn, my shit's lame.
Step it up. Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
That's
I
good
had
though. That's
to.
competition in hip hop.
Yeah, so it was dope. And then like, when I sent it back to him the second time around, like he really liked it. He got involved in it. He actually was the one that produced the cover for it. So it was dope. It was dope to get together with a dope artist like that, because it's man, he's a talented ass dude. He just came back from Europe.
Yeah.
So he's over there touring with Reverie, over there touring with DJ Lala, DJ Grey Dane. Everybody that he's doing music with is familiar to me. So I mean, it's just a growth process, So it's opened up a lot of doors for me, because now after I've been working with him, like a lot of his people started hitting me up. Dao Poeta hit me up about getting together on a song and stuff like that. So it's beautiful. I feel like right now it's a good time for me and my team to grow, because we're just doing so much, So shout out to Rich and Ruthless for putting us on like that. But I feel like it was good for us to get on their team and be a part of what they got going on with big legends like Lil Easy, DJ Yella, all of them.
Well, you can see Charlie B tomorrow at Mad Flavor Fest,
Most
along with so many
definitely.
awesome people. Thank you guys for coming through.
Yeah, for sure. I just want to say one last thing.
Yeah.
At Mad Boy That Boy, that's my Instagram. But
Yes.
if you want to listen to the music, it's MADDBOYY. That's Mad Boy.
Yes.
And you can find over 100 songs with probably a lot of your favorite rappers from around. I definitely have a lot of music stored up, and I'm gonna start dropping a lot of music after my event. Stay tuned, and yeah, get your ticket. Come say what's up. Come vibe with us. Tomorrow.
Hey, thank
sure.
you guys once
Yeah.
again. We're going to get into the mix with Mondo. We'll be back with more on The Rodriguez Show.
That's
The
right, Mondo.
Rodriguez Show.
Yeah.